Welcome to A New World News with hosts Dawn Piercy and Rebecca Mahan, where we are breaking through and bringing you new topics every week from around the world. Tune in every Thursday, replenish and refresh. Welcome to A New World News. My name is Dawn Piercy, one of your hosts, with the other host, Rebecca Mahan, coming to you from California and Texas. We are bringing you a New World News with topics from around the world to replenish and refresh. And today, I know on my part, I've brought a shocker, okay? A new study suggests, that thinking too much can cause you to die sooner. Thinking too much can cause you to die sooner. This is out of San Francisco. Relax and take it easy because it's good for you. Researchers at Harvard Medical School have analyzed that post-death brain tissue compared with the tissue of centenarians, people at least 100 years old, to those that died in their 60s and 70s, okay? And the study found that those that died younger ages had some type of protein in their brain called REST. RE-1. It's a silencing transcription, which quiets the brain activity. So, without, I guess you're supposed to get more rest, like literally. Excessive activity in the brain is linked to shorter lifespans, while suppressing overactivity actually extends your life. So, Rebecca, what is your take on this? Because it says that according to previous studies that the rest can actually protect against Alzheimer's disease.
Okay, so I'm kind of chuckling because I'm thinking about, I chuckled at something that you said. And, here's the thing of this. Do they want to dumb us down? Because ultimately, exercise is really necessary for our health, and our brain is a muscle. If we don't exercise it, then, and think about this, that there's studies that prove that we don't use the vast majority of the brain that we have. So if we stop using what we already have, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, you know what it kind of resonated with me though? Meditation. I think it maybe has to do with quieting one's mind, quieting your spirit, because when people tend to think, I think, too much, sometimes the blood pressure can go up, sometimes the heart can race. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Now I can go with that because excessive worry can cause things like other anxiety disorders, increase your heart, blood pressure. Yeah, I can
anxiety
totally agree
attacks, panic attacks. Post-traumatic stress syndrome is another one. Okay. And the excessive to where your mind never shuts down. I could see how that could be detrimental to one's health. That's what made me think of meditation when I read that, is being able to quiet yourself, within yourself.
That I can go with. But if you altogether say, okay, I'm going to stop using my brain.
Literally a new meaning. Don't think too hard. Your brain might explode.
Yeah, I just can't be okay with that part of it. But I will go with what you said, because I am in 100% agreement that we need to have some quiet time so that we can rest. It's just like resting your muscles. You exercise a certain group of muscles, and then you have a day of rest, and then you exercise that group again, and you end up building. So I can understand that.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, it just kind of blew me away when I read it. Okay, and I'm sitting there thinking, talk about putting a new spin on "Don't Think Too Hard"
on the think card. Literally, I like that.
Literally,
I like that. Well, you know what? We could do some studies of our own.
What type of studies do you think, Rebecca?
Oh, we could just sit around, see what happens.
Well, we might grow wide. That might happen.
That is true. That is
Yes.
true. So I don't know. I personally will tell you that if I am not doing things that help me learn and grow, so like if I'm not reading something, researching something, allowing me to learn more and equip myself with more education, I don't feel as good.
Right. Well, and
So,
they say that, not to have idle hands too, because
okay, you
that
have a
can get
good
you
point
in.
there.
Yeah.
And
So,
when it comes to Alzheimer's and senility and things like that, one of the things that has been told, school of thought, is to be doing things like crossword
oh, yeah.
and remember and continue to do things that prevent memory loss. So I can see both sides of the coin based on what you said, but I'm all for working my mind.
Yes, absolutely. What topics did you find for us tonight?
Okay, so I want to follow up with a last piece of information that we talked about related to vaping. There's a current
Ah,
study that has
yes.
been brought out. It is something that we really need to stay on top of because the CDC has now actually launched an emergency operation center, a command center. And if yes, this is something like law enforcement, they have this command center and they are staying on top of this 24/7. And every week they are launching every Thursday a new set of news information so that the public knows what's going on. And so I want to actually read something and give the proper credit due because the person that wrote this article actually wrote this. It came from the Washington Post. So the journalist there really needs to be given credit because she did a outstanding job with what she wrote and the research that she did.
Mm-hmm.
Because once I read this article, I went and confirmed what was there at the CDC. And I'm going to follow up with some really vaping numbers
Right.
because those numbers are gonna vanish and change. But Lena's son. The title of this article is, and it was released October 25th,
Yesterday.
2019, by Lena's
Right.
son, the Washington Post. This is fresh material. And here is the information that has been released based on what she wrote. Most people who died from vaping related injuries used products containing THC, the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana, federal health officials said on Friday. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Further in this article, it says based on data available from 860 to 1,604 patients that have fallen ill with the disease, about 85% of them reported using THC containing products, compared to 10% who reported exclusively using
Nicotine.
vaping nicotine containing products. But wait, there's some really fascinating numbers, which I'm going to give you directly from the CDC website. So here's the thing with this. This is a marker. Now, Lena's son went on to further investigate, and she found that what's happening is people are cutting.
That's what I
And
was wondering.
yes, and this is where there's a problem. These are black market vaping devices that are being utilized, and the vitamin E, which we are able to take and ingest internally, we put it on topically. The problem is you can't use it in a vapor type of component. That's where there's an issue. Okay. And so this vitamin E acetate combined with the THC, they're showing that this is a marker. And so she really did her homework. I really have to give her kudos for this article Anybody who's watching this really needs to read this article. The title of this is Officials Think This Marker Could Help Explain Mysterious Vaping Outbreak. Now we go to the CDC website. A few things I want to point out here. There's a lot of things to follow, but
Right.
a few things to point out. The latest outbreak information is that this is a complex investigation spanning almost all states, that there's over 1,000 patients. And again, she brought out the right numbers. And here is what out of that was very interesting. And they really have this broken down to be followed. But the median age of the deceased was 49 years old, ranging from 17 to 75 years old. Among the 1,358 patients with data on age and sex, 70%, listen to this, 70% are male. Okay. So there's something about this. The median age of patients is 23 years, ages from 13 to 75. 79% are under 35. And then it goes on to list the group by category. Among the 849 patients with information on substances used in e-cigarettes or vaping within 3 months prior, 78% reported using THC containing products. And 31% reported exclusive use of THC containing products. Here's the problem with this. You see, where are people getting this? It's not through, and the CDC goes on to say, if you're going to get it and you're going to do it, then you need to get it from a reputable manufacturer. So that means
Right.
you're going to go to a
Don't get
retail
it off the
store.
street. Get it from
That's
a
right. Don't get it off the
manufacturer if you're going to
street.
do it, because if
Don't.
not, you're ruining it for everybody. And
That's
you'd
it.
probably die.
That's it. Don't order it from China.
Make it a
And then
win-win or a lose-lose.
yeah, don't order it from China or some other foreign country.
Thanks
Get
for
it.
tuning in to New World News. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you liked it, click like, comment, subscribe so you can keep up with all the new topics, and be sure to share so other people can enjoy it too. And if you feel fit to buy me a cup of coffee once a month for bringing you these episodes, you can do so at our anchor.fm platform under a new podcast. Tune in next Thursday for a continuation on a new world news, a new topics every week. And until next time, oh, and this podcast is available on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Libre.media, and many other streaming platforms. See you later.